Let's take a look at the fighter jet Maverick should have flown in the movie Top Gun Maverick, the Super Tomcat 22. The movie Top Gun Maverick is the sequel to the 1986 blockbuster film Top Gun, which changed the way the public viewed fighter planes and whose impact on pop culture is still felt today. Top Gun did for aviation what Star Wars did for science fiction. And although many people think that Tom Cruise was the star of that movie, aviation fans know that it was the F-14 Tomcat that stole the show. In the new movie, Maverick pilots an FA-18 Super Hornet since the Tomcat was retired back in 2006. And while the Super Hornet is an amazing airplane, it just doesn't have the mystique and following that the F-14 does. We have to wonder if there could have been an advanced or Super Tomcat that could have been used instead for the new movie. It turns out the Tomcat's manufacturer Grumman had plans for a Super Tomcat all the way back in 1987. Let's take a deeper dive into this planned fighter and see what could have been, and reveal the Tomcat's final form. Grumman's Super Tomcat was dubbed ST-22 for Super Tomcat 21st Century. Development on this variant began by using the F-14D as a starting point, which would have led to the Quick Strike Tomcat. This version would have featured air-to-surface missiles, improved radar modes, and would have capitalized on F-14D, A-6F, and F-15E commonality. The Quick Strike Tomcat would have essentially provided the Navy with maritime F-15E Strike Eagle capabilities, all while maintaining the F-14D's air superiority features. After implementing the Quick Strike Tomcat, Grumman was to follow up with the ST-21 version. Using data and lessons learned from incredible research aircraft such as the F-18 Harv, which implemented thrust vectoring, and the super maneuverable McDonnell Douglas F-15 STL MTD, contributed to some of the planned features that would be found on the ST-21. Planned for the mid to late 90s and following the 1994 purchase of Grumman by Northrop in 1994, the Super Tomcat 21 was to feature an upgraded GE F11029 engine, which would have allowed the Tomcat to supercruise at Mach 1.3, along with an upgraded radar, room for more fuel, improved control surfaces, and potentially even thrust vectoring nozzles. In fact, the ST-21 was Grumman's response to the Advanced Tactical Fighter or ATF competition, which pitted the YF-22 against the YF-23. One of the more prominent features of the Super Tomcat 21 was its implementation of leading edge extensions or LEX, a technology that was studied extensively on Northrop's F-5 series of aircraft, culminating in the F-18 Hornet. In fact, the LEX additions to the proposed ST-21 somewhat resemble those found on the Super Hornet, which was in development around the same time, and which of course is the aircraft that Maverick ultimately flies in the new movie. The ST-21's LEX, along with the improved control surfaces, would have improved takeoffs, lowered landing speeds, and increased the F-14's high alpha performance. Additionally, the thrust vectoring GE F-110s would have further improved maneuverability, and the larger fuel area would have given the Tomcat even more loiter time and range. Imagine a super cruising F-14 with thrust vectoring, and you have the ST-21. And as amazing as this sounds, Grumman had even further plans for the Tomcat. Following the introduction of the Super Tomcat was the Attack Super Tomcat 21 or AST-21. The AST-21 was to have even more fuel capacity, further improved control surfaces, and actively electronically scanned array or AESA radar. These upgrades would have brought the Tomcat into 4th plus generation technology, and made a formidable fighter even more effective by incorporating strike rolls into its capabilities. Along with these proposed Grumman upgrades, I've taken things a step further and applied what we know today about the Advanced Tactical Fighter, aka the F-22, and the Joint Strike Fighter, aka the F-35, and applied them to the Tomcat. Grumman planned the Super Tomcat 21, which added many features to the amazing F-14. Let's build on that and incorporate 5th generation technologies. Here it is, the ultimate what-if final version of the Tomcat, the Super Tomcat 22. This F-14 makes use of thrust vectoring, a golden canopy that is coated with a thin layer of indium tin oxide or ITO that acts like an EM shield to maintain stealth characteristics. Air intakes are designed to hide the turbine fan blades from radar. The AN/APG-81, which is an actively electronically scanned array or AESA radar, itself is an evolution of the F-22's AN/APG-77 radar. The APG-81 radar includes the air-to-air modes found on the F-22, along with the advanced air-to-ground modes that utilize high-resolution mapping, the ability to track multiple ground-moving targets, and electronic warfare capabilities. Along with this, we've provided an integrated sensor platform which provides forward-looking infrared or FLIR and infrared search and track or IRST functionality. This system is known as the Electro-Optical Targeting System or EOTS. EOTS further enhances the pilot's situational awareness and is housed in a stealthy low-drag housing with sapphire windows. The EOTS integrates via a high-speed fiber optic interface into the S-22's central computer. We've got stealth and we've got super cruise. We've got the sensors. What about the weapons? For starters, the internal M61 20mm Vulcan gun is kept from other Tomcat variants, and I've saved the best for last. The Super Tomcat 22 incorporates internal weapons bays. Along with conventional hardpoints found in all Tomcats for non-stealthy missions, the Super Tomcat 22 makes use of a main internal weapons bay, which can house 4 long-range air-to-air missiles or air-to-ground bombs. Secondary bays can be found on the sides of the intakes and can each house an AIM-9X Sidewinder or other short-range infrared heat-seeking missiles. Like all Tomcats, the ST-22 features a backseat crew member or RIO, who can serve as an airborne forward air controller or as a drone operator flying several fighter-sized loyal wingman combat drones, making the S-22 a force multiplier on the modern battlefield. Again, in the new movie, Maverick pilots a single-seat Super Hornet, so who would have joined him in the back seat as his RIO to help crew the ST-22? Goose's son? Let me know in the comments below. All of these features, combined with long loiter times and range, would make the S-22 a formidable platform. And finally, the S-22 would make use of composite materials which would help reduce weight, extend range, and lower maintenance costs. Thanks for joining me on this thought experiment. Grumman had some incredible plans for the Tomcat, and it's interesting to look at what could have been with this legendary airframe. Imagine this aircraft being prominently featured in the new Top Gun Maverick movie. And in real life, the Tomcat's range, speed, and loiter times are certainly missed these days. Getting back to the movie, we're finally getting a sequel 36 years later. In case you weren't around when the original came out, it's hard to overstate the impact the movie had. Top Gun forever changed how fighter pilots were viewed by the general public, and introduced sayings into our lexicon such as the need for speed, it's classified, I can tell you but I'd have to kill you, and many others. The original Top Gun movie also made songs like You've Lost That Loving Feeling and Danger Zone timeless classics. Top Gun became the must-see movie for aviation fans and pilots. Interestingly, today at the real Top Gun school, staff members can be fined $5 for just quoting the movie. Easily one of the most iconic films in history, here's to hoping the sequel somehow lives up even a little bit to the original. If you love aviation and have a curiosity and passion for learning about current, historical, and conceptual aircraft such as the ST-22, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm working on several projects I think you'll enjoy, and I post every day on my community page here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, enjoy the movie, and see you next time.